Church records are a valuable source for finding birth and/or christening information. Christenings were usually done soon after a child was born, so if a birth date can't be found, a christening date can be used to estimate the year of the birth. But what is often overlooked is that there are other types of records that were kept by churches that can give us birth dates. Finding and gaining access to church records can be challenging, but very beneficial when the record can be found. Some church records can be found online, like this record from Illinois. In this record we find the baptisms, then the child's name, then the parents' names, and then the date of birth. The last slide we were able to see the actual record. This is just an indexed record. No images available, but we find birth and christening date and place, and the name of the child and the parents' names. This is a record from Friends Church in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It gives the parents' names, the children's names, their dates of birth, and some death dates. A few years ago, my husband and I went to a church repository, and I asked if they might have some records of some of my relatives. They were very happy to look through the records and were willing to make copies for a nominal fee, which we were very happy to pay for the wonderful information we found. Always offer to pay for services. Most of these repositories run on very limited funds. They found multiple records for us. Here are 2 records found that give us birth information. Here we see that the dates match, as does the state, but not the county. It is important to think of where the information came from. Was it copied from another source? Was it obtained from the person themselves? How long has it been from the time of the event? The second source on John Hawley was from a life history he wrote about himself, so this is pretty good verification of his birth date. Too bad he didn't say where he was born in his life history. He also gives information on his children and their birth dates. This is another record that came from the visit to the church repository. This record gives us a birth date and birthplace. I am pretty sure it is the same person, as other records of the family members were also found. This is a good example of how records don't always match. Finding church records isn't always easy, but more records are being added to Family Search every day. You can use Family Search Wiki to learn more about finding church records. Happy hunting!